Larry and I are very fortunate because what started as a hobby 15 years ago, we have turned into a business. And how many people can honestly say that they make a living out of what they enjoy doing best?
Larry, could you tell me a bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm 6'2", known as a Clint Eastwood lookalike and fabulously attractive to women. Is there anything else you'd like me to tell you?
Well, Larry isn't your normal everyday guy. When I met him, he was like no one that I had ever met before. Amongst other things, he runs a joke shop. He's a magistrate. He, what can I say about him? Perhaps if you took a look at him, it might tell the story for itself. Larry has a tremendous eye for buying material. Things that I say are a waste of money, Larry has overruled me in the past and proven to be right. And on the whole, we're a really good team. We complement each other very well in the business.
Because we're so different!
Sorry, did somebody say something? The dividing line between business and home has become blurred for us. The two merge very much into one. Essentially, Larry is in charge of buying new material, and when new material comes in, Larry literally rips it up and sorts it out. It's then over to me. We have some people working with us who help us with filing. But if picture desks call us and they're after images, we both work on the research. It started off as Larry's hobby. To be fair, it was his idea to tear them up in the first place. But if it wasn't for me, he'd be nothing. In fact, he is nothing.
Here we have the greatest waste of creative talent of the 20th century. Also some of the greatest art that I think has ever been assembled in one room. Sistine Chapel, eat your heart out. Prior to the 1960s, before television and film and everything else took over, the illustrator was king. And what we have here are great examples of the highest form of the art of the illustrator. Sounding a bit pretentious, let me show you some examples of the things that I love and see what you think. Humour, it's racist, it's sexist, it's all the things that you can't get away with nowadays because we're protected by the Advertising Standards Authority. I love that one. Is it always illegal to kill a woman? You can discuss that one with Suzanne afterwards. Racist, they were racist. They had stereotyped images which would never be allowed today, and that was before we had a consumer black population as far as the advertisers were concerned. They've changed their tune now because they think they can make money out of people. Look at that one. You mean a woman can open it? Absolutely outrageous. Famous film stars. In the 50s, every famous film star signed up by the film studio had to make 5 films and promote cigarettes, gas ovens, hats, anything that the film company said that they should. How to survive an atomic bomb. Great one. You put a jacket over your head. Nowadays, we have AIDS. In those days, it was athlete's foot. He took his girl swimming and gave her athlete's foot. He was a carrier. Actually, if you had dandruff, halitosis, athlete's foot, any of those things, forget about a job, forget about getting married, forget about everything. You were socially unacceptable. It wouldn't work. Now, moving swiftly on, we come to Ronald Reagan. That's a nice one. Presidents, kings and queens, they're all here in the advertising archives.
One of my favourite sections is the sexist section. Really, with the ads and illustration, it is social history, and looking back into the past, it's incredible how things were promoted and how different ideas were. In this questionnaire from Picture Post in 1952, what's your rating as a wife? It asks, does your husband ask your opinion about politics? Are you selective about the books you read and the films and theatres you go to? Do you look up a word in the dictionary if you're not sure of its meaning? Are you interested in successful career women? Well, you can ask Larry about all those. How many wives would put up with that today? Another of our favourite images is the tragedy of the young scrub woman. Did we all think when we got married we'd be condemned to scrubbing floors and dusting? In this 1930s gas and coke ad, the husband says, "Darling, you do work hard to keep our little home dirty." This Horlicks ad shows a woman struggling to compete in a man's world, but alas, she hadn't the energy, the strength, or the wherewithal to do it until she drank, you guessed, Horlicks. Here, some women have broken down, and exasperatedly they cry, "Not a man in sight." Well, who cares? Looking at some of the ones we've done recently, this picture in the Daily Mail shows Daddy coming home from work while Mummy's got the apron on, preparing a delicious tea for him. The children can't wait to see what Daddy's got in the bag. Thank goodness for microwaves, that's what I say. Here, the husband looks on in a bored fashion doing the Daily Mail crossword, no doubt, while his wife tries on 2,000 hats in the sales. This image was just perfect to show the pre-Christmas stress factor. When picture desks get to know about us, they know the sort of images we have, and they phone us, and it's tremendously satisfying when within minutes, because of our filing system and our knowledge of the collection, we're able to go straight to a very, very appropriate picture.
Obsessiveness, madness, because these are two very important traits to have when you're building up a collection. You have to put aside all considerations for your family, your physical and mental health, your children, any desire to become rich, and concentrate purely and solely on building up the collection. That, I'm being serious, that is actually quite important. If you're not obsessive and if you don't concentrate in that way, collections meander along and build up slowly. And by the time they've built up to a really good collection, you're an old man, you can't really do anything with it. That's my theory, folks.